Maybank leading Roger Black. They're in the home stretch. It'll be Antoine Maybank anchoring the U.S. to victory in the 4x400.
Natasha Hastings for the United States. Natasha Hastings has been given this leg because nobody gets around that first turn in a 400 faster than she does.
Because I know I'm not just doing this for myself, but I'm doing it for everyone back in the 843.
Oh man, I thought I left her in South Carolina, but obviously we're together again. She always would say, like, you know, you never have so much pride in yourself until you hear that anthem going on.
We are almost there. The world's best athletes coming together in just a few weeks. Welcome to our News 2 Olympic special, Countdown to Tokyo. I'm Brendan Clark.
I'm Carolyn Murray. Thank you so much for joining us. The News 2 sports team is also joining us, John Barron and Jasmine McCoy.
Several South Carolinians have brought home hardware since the Olympics began, and tonight we have the opportunity to talk to local and state Olympians about their experience and the journey to the big games.
But before we do, let's go and take a look at just how many medals the United States has won during the Olympics. You can see in this map dating back to 1924, California, Texas, and New York have dominated the Summer Olympics. Specifically in the Rio 2016 Olympics, California Olympians brought home 58 medals. Florida came in second with 23 medals, and Texas left Rio with 22 medals. In the 2016 games, South Carolina had 2 Olympians compete and bring home a silver medal. And as a whole, the United States has won 2,189 more medals at the Summer Games than any other country.
But different states lead the way when it comes to the Winter Games. You can see in this map dating back to 1924, Wisconsin, Washington, New York, California, and North Carolina have brought home the most medals during the Winter Games.
And one former Olympian knows all too well what it's like to win a gold medal, 3 of them to be exact. She's also one of the most well-known college coaches in the nation, and she was named the head coach for the women's basketball team in the Tokyo 2020 Games.
And of course, we're talking about Dawn Staley, the head women's basketball coach from the University of South Carolina. And I had the opportunity to take a closer look at this year's team and hear what she's most excited for in the upcoming games. Hall of Fame player.
Dawn Staley gets them on their feet.
3-time Olympic gold medalist.
Crowd favorite, Dawn Staley.
And one of the most decorated participants in United States women's basketball history. Dawn Staley.
When you're with USA Basketball, it is a family. Whether you played 25 years ago, whether you coach currently, everybody's together for one common goal, and that's to win a gold medal.
Staley is the head coach for the USA Basketball women's national team, and she leads the AmeriCup team that features some of the best current college hoopers.
And I wanted to be a part of practice. I wanted to be a part of the training. I wanted to see them compete against each other. I wanted to be a part of helping them grow within USA Basketball because I know all of them, all 20 of them want to be Olympians.
In her time at South Carolina so far, Staley is the program's all-time winningest coach and has led the Gamecocks to all 3 NCAA Final Fours, including their 2017 national championship. And a part of that team was Asia Wilson, who has been reunited with Staley by USA Basketball.
No lie, we would hate when Coach Staley went to USA because then she would come back thinking that we were all Olympians and we weren't. So it was like a struggle. But it's nice to kind of be on this side of it because it's a sense of pride and like honor, and you want to represent not only yourself but your country the best way you can.
It's an incredible thing. Like, I look forward to going to practice every single day. I look forward to mixing and matching lineups just to see how well they gel. And I'm super proud of them.
But representing the USA comes with pressure.
We like winning. It is gold or failure every time that we step on the floor. We like that pressure.
The USA has captured 6 straight gold medals and have their eyes set on number 7 in Tokyo.
Everybody's coming at you with their very best, and you can't take plays off. That is norm for us, and it's the norm for us to want to beat every team and every opponent that we face, and that's including in this upcoming Olympic Games.
Don Staley, great coach. Want you to check this out. The design of the Olympic rings date back to 1914. The colors have a specific meaning. The Olympic symbol consists of 5 interlaced rings, symbolizing the 5 regions in the world who compete during the Olympics. It includes America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and Oceania. The colors of the ring also specifically chosen to represent at least one color from all of the national flags who take part in the Olympic Games.
The next Olympian we had the opportunity to speak with was Natasha Hastings. Hastings graduated from the University of South Carolina in 2008, but after hanging up her Gamecock spikes, her track career did not end.
Since then, Natasha has won numerous world championships, but her highest honor is being called a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. News 2's Megan James spoke with her about her biggest challenges while training for Tokyo 2020.
It really is hard for me to put into words, honestly, to this day, that knowing of I'm an Olympic gold medalist.
A dream that's been in the works for Hastings since a young age.
Or 10 years old when the Summer Games were in Atlanta. And I just started running track and I watched the games and I became familiar with Michael Johnson, Otto Bolden, Gail Devers, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, and like making the connection that like, oh, I could be an Olympian one day. So when that happens at 22, you're kind of just like, I don't have the words for this.
Now at 34 years old, Hastings has seen a great deal of success on top of the rewarding challenges life has thrown.
I'm training. I'm a mom. I have a 21-month-old son. I trained up until the day before I gave birth to him. Got right back on the track in a little less than 6 weeks. I started walking at 3 weeks postpartum. But yeah, I'm in the thick of training for the trials and I'm on the road to Tokyo. My final lap, but I am training for one last go around, yes.
Natasha Hastings has been given this leg because nobody gets around that first turn in a 400 faster than she does.
For that final 400 meters, mindset is everything for Hastings.
In 2016, I was really present about and intentional about taking in every moment that I spent with my family, my teammates, being on the track, competing. So it was a more fulfilling experience in 2016 in that, you know, I took it more of an experience to be present in and really cherish.
After not making the cut in 2012, it took a mindful change to get to that point.
I had a conversation with my mom. Long story short, she ended up connecting me with a sports psychologist that she'd met at the 2012 trials. I always go back to the first session that I had with him, and he asked, you know, so what are some of the things that you're saying before a race? And I'm like, man, like, this sucks. This is going to hurt. This last 100 is just going to be painful. It's only 50 seconds of pain. And by the time I was done, he said, my God, Natasha, you've lost the race before the gun goes off.
For Hastings, it was a day-by-day and week-by-week process that brought just the change she needed.
We really just worked each week on, you know, how are you speaking to yourself? The second you have a negative thought, change it to a positive one. And it honestly, it's a tough practice because, you know, here I am years later and it's still something that I have to practice and have to constantly remind myself. But that was literally the flip in my career.
Flip that hopefully can bring home another gold medal in Tokyo. For Countdown to Tokyo, Megan James, Count on 2.
And now we have a story of a man who closed out the 4x400 meter relay in this 1996 Olympics.
Antoine Maybank's gold medal winning race was more than 2 decades ago at the Atlanta Games. News 2's Brad Franco caught up with Maybank to see what he's up to now.
Antoine Maybank can't help but smile when he's asked about it.
It'll be Antoine Maybank anchoring the U.S. to victory in the 4x400.
Maybank and his teammates winning gold in the 4x400 relay in the 1996 Olympic Games is a memory he says he still cherishes.
And it was just the fact that we all trained and worked so hard to come to this point in our lives and to gain this experience that it just seemed like it was just another normal workout that we were all just hanging out together, which made it that much more enjoyable and fun at the same time.
A close group of friends who competed against each other individually, but came together to win for each other and their country. He says it created an unbreakable bond.
We speak at least 3-4 times a week. We're all on a group text, and we all go down to the AAU national meets because we know the director of it, and we volunteer time so we can actually speak to the youth as well, so we can encourage them the importance of track and field on your lifestyle as a whole and the importance that it also has on other sports.
Maybank says what made winning gold even more special for him is doing it in Atlanta allowed family from Georgetown to see it in person.
A couple of months later, I came back home, and then Georgetown, they had this big parade for me, and it was just all my friends from high school, aunts, uncles, cousins, sisters. I mean, everyone was there, and it was just a magical experience.
Since his retirement from competition, Maybank has been giving back to the sport he loves, coaching track at Tatnall School in Delaware, and also spending time as a business and wellness consultant. Brad Franco, Count on 2.
A few new sports have been added to the games this year. Fans will now be able to see athletes compete in karate, skateboarding, sport climbing, and surfing. Softball and baseball are also being added back into the action. Both sports were taken out of the Olympics after 2008, but due to the popularity of those two sports within the host country, it has been added to the 2020 Tokyo Games.
Up next, a Burke High School graduate going for the gold, her second Olympic Games. But life has taken a dramatic turn for Raven Saunders. I speak one-on-one with Raven about a day she will never forget.
Plus, sometimes we watch these Olympians and wonder how tough their journey truly was to make it here. I'll give it a shot with CSU's throwers when we come back.
Welcome back to our Olympic special countdown to Tokyo. The News 2 team is bringing you stories of Olympians from all around our state.
Yeah, that's right. Born and bred in Charleston, a low country Olympian going for the gold once again.
How many Olympians have come out of Charleston, South Carolina that were born in Charleston, South Carolina in track and field? I think it's only one.
Knowing that you have so many people looking up to you back at home means that much more, because I know I'm not just doing this for myself, but I'm doing it for everyone back in the 843.
Yeah, that's Raven Saunders, a Burke High School graduate who has won several state titles in shot put and disc, set collegiate records at both Southern Illinois and Ole Miss, both indoors and out. And Raven, back in 2016 during the Summer Games in Rio, placed 5th overall in shot put. We are so proud of her. August 17th has officially been declared Raven Saunders Day here in Charleston. But it hasn't been all smiles, broken records, and happiness for Raven. The woman nicknamed Hulk after the high of Rio. Just months later, Raven contemplated taking her own life. Here's her story in her own words and how Tokyo could be a great comeback story. Talk about what your life was like at that point, coming off that 5th place at Rio.
It was like right after, it was like great, especially when I came back home, coming to Charleston, the parade and everything. Like I knew the city supported me, but that much, it was just, it blew me away.
What began to change? I mean, just the outlook on the sport itself, college itself, financial, what changed?
It was the outlook on everything. It was like, I was just going through the motions of like, okay, I got to go to school. I got to go to practice. I got to do this. But it was like I was kind of dead inside. It was like, for me, it was like all of the pressure of everything just became so much. And I just felt like people didn't really, care, or they would brush it off because of all of the things that I accomplished so young.
Let's talk about January 26, 2018.
Yes,
this is the day it all kind of came to a head, isn't it? Can you tell me what happened and walk me through what happened?
At that point, I was tired. It was just like I woke up and I was like, whatever. I remember getting in my car. When people are going through suicidal ideologies, you kind of like run through the different ways that you kind of execute your plan, and all the other ways just wasn't feasible. And for me, I was like, okay. And I remember driving and seeing that spot, and I was like, I saw it, but I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna just keep driving. Like something in me, I just kept driving. At that point, I really felt it. Like, I was like, if I leave this place, like, it won't even matter.
Talk about that. You got a text from your therapist.
She knew everything. I was like, I'll text her, and if she doesn't respond, then it is what it is.
But she responded.
she responded.
Did that save your life?
Yes, it definitely did. It really changed me as a person. I also learned who I am outside of the Hulk. Like the Hulk is like me on the track or in athletics or when I'm competitive, you know what I mean? But I learned who Raven Saunders was, really, you know, learning that I need things outside of the sport. At the end of the day, when I look back at it, my depression is like, all right, how much have you done not to be productive and how much have you done to be productive? So it's like I got a lot done today, so at least that's a good step that tomorrow hopefully can be better for me.
As far as the Olympics go, we have not heard the last of Raven Saunders.
No, sir. No, sir. Far from it.
Now, Raven still has to qualify for the Olympics, actually has to qualify for the trials as well. She begins that quest in just weeks, and of course, we wish her the best of luck.
Well, obviously somebody who is very gifted and very skilled at something that she has just put so much time and effort and just quality into that. And well, I'm somebody who's going to have to learn exactly what it takes to kind of do something like that. You've seen me, I'm athletic, but
you are athletic, and I think you actually got the chance to
do it. Yeah, well, I actually did, and that's exactly what happened. I went over to Charleston Southern and had a few more pros show me exactly what it takes for this kind of skill. Of course, that was someone who is way more qualified than I am, but when you talk about somebody who's never really had any experience, somebody who's never thrown a discus, you have to go out and find people who are very good at what they do. And of course, I'm joined by Seth and Amy, who are obviously all conference, and they know exactly what they're doing. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Just kind of tell me, Amy, it's a lot of technique. You guys were kind of showing me this before we turned on the camera. Just kind of tell me the techniques behind it, just the knit, the grit, what it takes for you guys to be able to actually throw this and try to get it to go yard.
Well, technique, like you said, is the most important factor of throwing in general. And also, too, it's just about making sure that you're listening to your coach and trusting your coach, because they do know better than we know. You can only see so much when you're in the ring, but when you have your coach, there's another set of eyes on you, and just trusting the process.
So I'm going to take you through a stand throw first. So first we're going to learn a power position, which is always heel toe. Then we're going to hold the disc extra long, extra tight, and we are just going to take it back, turn the hips, and throw.
All right, so I got it right here. So we're gonna give it a shot. Please do not laugh because I'm giving it a shot. I don't want to hear, no puns intended. Well, I definitely will make sure that I warm up next time, because I think that I just definitely probably pulled something. I don't know. But Seth and Amy, all conference, they know what they're doing. I don't, but now I do know exactly what it takes and how much skill really goes into this kind of craft. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, thank you for joining us as well. We'll have more coming up in our Olympic special.
Still to come, the Olympic torch making its way through Japan. Why officials believe this tradition is so important for the Olympics and how it is a sign of unification throughout the country and world. Stay with us. You are watching News 2's Olympic special, Countdown to Tokyo.
And before we come to an end for our News 2 Tokyo special, we want to share a few fun facts about the Olympics and how they are preparing for Tokyo 2020.
First, let's get started with the Olympic torch relay. Now, you're looking at the route the official Olympic torch has been on since March 25th. Now, the journey started at the J Village in Fukushima and will finish at the Olympic ring ceremony in Tokyo, July 23rd.
The design of the torch-colored pink gold was inspired by the cherry blossom, a flower synonymous with the Japanese spring. The mission of carrying the Olympic torch is to show hope and unification throughout the country and the world.
And of course, Olympians get to go home with some hardware, but this year most of the medals are made of a material you wouldn't exactly think of.
Yeah, John, reports show the medals being given out at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics is the greenest gold medals ever. About 5,000 medals will be made out of recycled old cell phones. And also, another fun fact for you, did you know the gold medals aren't exactly made out of gold? They're coated with gold and made out of silver. And the bronze medals are made of copper, zinc, tin, and a very small amount of silver.
That's all the time we have for this Countdown to Tokyo special.
But before we go, we do want to wish every Olympian the best of luck as they continue their journey to Tokyo 2020.
And we will be cheering so loud for all of you from South Carolina.
Thank you all for watching our Countdown to Tokyo.